We appreciate you taking time away from refreshing your Twitter feed on your phone to join us. But yes, we are all waiting on the decision.
That's what I was. I was caught red-handed there, right? With
I know.
that overhead cam, and I'm like checking on Shohei Ohtani.
Checking the last-
I want the latest scoop.
We're refreshing. We're
live, but we still don't want to miss it.
No, it's unbelievable. And when we are getting, I think we're getting close to the finish line. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. You know who maybe has a good idea? And let's bring him in right now, our insider, JP Morosi, who joins us now here on MLB Tonight. Hey, JP, I'm going to break a little news here because according to sources close to me, and you're not the only one with sources, Shohei Ohtani has entered the transfer portal for the NCAA. So while that decision, JP, you're not getting the whole transfer portal joke.
I fully understand, Robert.
No,
what I would say is perhaps, is he going to be a two-way player in football as well? A quarterback, defensive back? I think that's probably where you're going. But
there's some teams in the Big 12 that I'm sure that could use his services. But in all seriousness, where do we stand right now with Shohei Ohtani and his sweepstakes?
Robert, this is quite a day. And where we're standing right now is that we are getting close to the end here. This is the finalist stage of the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. Again, I've been told throughout the week we should expect a decision by the end of the weekend. I was told today that decision was imminent. But very importantly, the decision has not been made yet. And there are conflicting reports. I was told today that Shohei was on his way to Toronto. Bob Nightingale, our colleague, reported that Shohei is still in California today. The important thing is this. The Blue Jays are part of this final group. And there has been optimism building in Toronto during the course of the week. So, yes, it's important where Shohei is right now. But perhaps even more important is the fact that the Jays are part of this final mix, which is a surprise based on where things stood just a week ago. We know there was a very successful visit for Shohei to the Jays camp in Dunedin, Florida, to see their state-of-the-art, newly renovated player development complex there. So all of those signs point to the Jays having a strong chance, but I will offer this word of caution. None of the teams that are also part of this Big Five, to borrow a transfer portal and college basketball reference there, Robert, that being, of course, the Angels, Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, and Blue Jays. I have not heard from any of those other teams right now to say that they are out or that they've been told they are out. So this part of the process, the choice as Shohei narrows things down, Robert, this could now take some time because even after making the choice of where he wants to play, there are still the contractual particulars. There's the medical piece. We know now that he's had 2 elbow surgeries, so that is not exactly an easy sign-off in any respect. So we are at, I would say, the beginning of the end here in terms of his decision-making, and we do expect that decision to come again within the next several days.
JP, have you heard any dollar figures thrown about?
I have not, Robert, in terms of what the specific final package is going to be, other than to say we talked a lot during the course of the year before the surgery happened about the guarantee being at least $500 million. I still believe that's the case. This is going to be a record-breaking contract in all likelihood. And where you could start to see, whether it's the Dodgers or the Blue Jays, you have two teams that have their own regional and in the case of the Jays, national sports networks, to where that monetization and growth as a global brand becomes more possible, and I think easier to really amplify that brand around the world. So you start to see where such a big expenditure can actually make some financial sense when it's that integral to the brand that you have. So the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, they can do that same amplification of having Shohei on your team, what it means to your ballpark. We know the Jays are having a newly renovated ballpark there at Rogers Center in Toronto.
Right.
So many things are lining up, Robert, as to where he could go. And again, we expect to find this out by the end of the weekend.
And real quick, JP, this is more procedural. Is it possible that during his visit in Dunedin at the Blue Jays spring training complex, that some medical checkouts or reports could have been done during that time?
That is an excellent question, Robert. It is possible, but what I'll say is this. For every free agent, and certainly Shohei is a very unique one, for every free agent, when a player becomes a free agent and there's a conversation with the agent, typically the agent, and not on every case, but I'll say typically the agent will release the medical file that exists for every player in Major League Baseball to be reviewed by the interested team. Now, for understandable reasons, that medical information is guarded closely and respected in terms of the confidentiality. But typically that when a physical happens, let's say, whenever an agreement occurs, that will likely not be the first time that a team has taken a look at, quote unquote, the medicals, because that is usually part of the information gathering process to where the books are opened, so to speak, and the medical information is available to the head physician, head athletic trainer, and other necessary medical personnel as part of the free agent process.
All right, that's our JP Morosi with the latest on Shohei Ohtani. I imagine he's going to be very busy as we continue to try to track this story down throughout the weekend. Enjoy it, JP. Thank you very much for the time.
Thanks, Robert. All the best.